You cleared your cookies. You opened an incognito window. You even switched on a VPN. As far as you're concerned, you've vanished. A ghost on the internet. So tell me, why does that same pair of shoes you glanced at once, last Tuesday, keep following you onto every website you open? Here's the uncomfortable answer. You were never hiding, because the thing tracking you was never the cookie. It was you. For years, we were all taught the same comforting story. Tracking happens through cookies, little files websites leave on your computer to remember you. So clear the cookies and you reset. Go incognito and you're invisible. That story made us feel safe. The problem? It's about a decade out of date. While everyone was busy fighting cookies, a quieter, far smarter system was being built right underneath them. It never asks permission. It never shows you a pop-up, and deleting your data does almost nothing to stop it. It's called browser fingerprinting, and once you see how it works, you can't unsee it. Think about a real fingerprint for a second. You didn't choose it. You can't delete it. And no two people on Earth share exactly the same one. Well, your browser has a fingerprint too, except it isn't made of skin. It's made of settings. Dozens of tiny, boring details about your device that, on their own, mean absolutely nothing. But stacked together, they point to exactly one person: you. So what are these details? Let's open the hood. The moment you land on a website, it can quietly ask your browser a string of innocent questions. What screen resolution are you using? What operating system? Which browser? And which version? What language is your keyboard? What time zone are you in? How many processor cores does your machine have? Which fonts are installed? Are you on battery or plugged in? None of these feel private. You'd happily tell a stranger your screen size. And that is exactly the trick. The danger was never in any single answer. It's in the combination. Here's where it gets wild. Suppose I guess your browser is Chrome. Not impressive. Billions of people use Chrome. But now add that you're on Windows, and your screen is exactly 2560 by 1440, and you're in Pakistan Standard Time, and you have 38 specific fonts installed in one specific order. With every detail I stack on, the crowd you're hiding in gets smaller. Chrome users, billions. Chrome on Windows, hundreds of millions. Chrome, Windows, that resolution, that time zone, those fonts. And suddenly, it's just you and maybe 3 other people on the entire planet. Researchers found that for most people, their browser setup is completely, perfectly unique. 1 in a million isn't a figure of speech here. It's the literal math. And we haven't even reached the clever part yet. A website can ask your browser to do something strange. To draw an invisible picture, usually just a line of text or a simple shape, painted onto a hidden canvas you will never see. Why? Because the exact way your device paints that image, the tiny smudges at the edge of each letter, depends on your specific graphics card, your drivers, your operating system, all working together. 2 devices that look identical on paper will draw that invisible picture just slightly differently. The website turns that drawing into a string of numbers. And that string becomes a name tag, one your device wears everywhere and never even knows it's wearing. There's even an audio version of this trick. Your browser can generate a sound you'll never hear, then measure exactly how your hardware processes it. Same idea, same uniqueness. A different doorway into the same room. But here's the quiet genius of the whole thing. That fingerprint isn't trapped on one website. A tracking company embedded across thousands of sites sees the same fingerprint surface on a news page, then a shopping page, then a forum, and stitches them all into one continuous story. To them, you were never an anonymous visitor on each page. You're the same recognizable thread weaving across the entire internet. Now here's why this matters so much. Remember your defenses? Clearing your cookies? Useless, because there is no cookie to clear. Incognito mode? Useless, because incognito hides your history from your family, not your fingerprint from the website. A VPN, it hides where you are, but not who you are. Your fingerprint walks right through it. You can wipe every trace of your last visit, and the site will still recognize you the second you walk back in. That's the part nobody talks about. We were all handed the wrong map. So who's doing this? And why? And it's important to be fair here. It's not all villains in hoodies. Your bank and your favorite store use fingerprinting to catch fraud. If your account suddenly logs in from a device that's never been seen before, that's a genuine red flag worth raising, and that protects you. That's the good side. But the very same technology quietly powers an enormous invisible advertising economy. Data brokers build a profile tied to your fingerprint. What you read, what you buy, how long you hover, what you almost clicked. You never signed up, you never agreed. And because it's a fingerprint, not an account, there is often no button anywhere to delete it. And that's the real story. This was never just one creepy trick. It's a quiet shift in how the internet decided to remember us. Cookies, in their clumsy way, at least asked for a kind of permission. Fingerprinting asks for nothing. It just watches how your machine behaves and writes down whatever makes it different. The more unique you are, the easier you are to follow. Privacy got turned completely inside out. So can you actually fight back? Partly, and the answer is the opposite of what you'd guess. The goal isn't to make yourself more secure, it's to make yourself more boring, to look like everyone else. Some browsers, like the Tor browser, do this on purpose. They make every single user look completely identical, so blending into the crowd hides you far better than standing out ever could. Browsers like Firefox and Brave now ship with fingerprint resistance that fakes or blocks those nosy questions. And privacy extensions can add tiny random noise to your canvas, so your invisible drawing comes out different every single time. None of it is perfect, but every bit of sameness you add is one more person you get to hide behind. So the next time a website seems to know you a little too well, after you cleared everything, after you went incognito, after the VPN, you'll finally understand what's really happening. You were never invisible, you were just unique. And on the modern internet, being unique is exactly how they find you. Now you know the system nobody talks about. The real question is, what are you going to do about it?